for sunscreen and sunblock, actually there is a difference. People tend to think that aren't they the same? Yes, we've been all thought that sunscreen or sunblock is important, but exactly why? Okay, is it just a marketing ploy? What is the basis behind that? So next slide, please. Okay, so sunblock and sunscreen. As you know, there is actually two layers from the sun. There is ultraviolet A, which is actually the more minimal, beneficial rather, aspect in receiving sunlight. Okay, this is actually activates the vitamin D in the skin that actually contributes to healthy bones in our body. Kaya nga po, even sa babies, pinapaarawan para hindi manilaw. That's the basis. It's the UV rays that is actually important health-wise. And then there's also UVB, which is the harmful rays of the sun. So I'm now holding this sunscreen. So it is very important for us to incorporate sunblock or sunscreen because it causes premature aging. Direct sun exposure allows you to have exposure to UVB. What happens to UVB, as you can see in the picture that is shown, it penetrates the deep layers of the skin, in particular the elastic fibers that was shown before, like the stratum basale. It encompasses that layer, and what happens if it hits the elastic fiber of the skin, it makes the skin loose, turgor, so it causes dryness, and it causes it to fall instead of lifting it up. That is why for women who are aging, they would first take notice of the premature effect of aging here around the eyelids area, because as you know, the thinnest part of the face is the one around the eyes. That's why a lot of cosmetics, they would often caution women that they're not supposed to put so much products around the eye because it's a very sensitive spot. That is why women who don't really take care of their skin, who go out on the sun, who do a lot of gardening work, for example, they tend to have crow's feet along this area. Okay, and the best way to remedy that is actually preventable by using a sunblock. So what sunblock should we use? There was a time po before COVID that, di ba po, maraming merchandise that they promised a 100 SPF, 100,000 SPF, but that's not true. Product-wise and medical-wise, the best sunblock or sunscreen to use is the one that has SPF 30. SPF 30 and above is actually the best. SPF stands for sun protection factor. SPF 100, SPF 1000, there is nothing like such as that. And the idea behind it is that 30, 45, for example, it takes 30 times more for the sun rays to penetrate the deeper layer of the skin. That's why it causes a very protection. It delivers a very protective effect. So opt to choose a sunblock that has 30 and above SPF factor. Also, just want to show that there's actually a difference between a sunblock and a sunscreen. This one I have is actually a sunscreen. So if you were to choose, I would actually choose sunblock over sunscreen. The word itself, block, it actually eliminates the UVB rays that are found to be harmful the harmful rays from the sun. Whereas sunscreen, what they just do is that the chemical components within the sunscreen absorb the UV rays, and then it converts it to heat, and then it releases it later on. But still, the burning sensation, the premature aging, there is still a chance for it to do that. So if you were to choose a better product, you should opt to choose sunblock instead of sunscreen. Okay. Also, of course, in the medical side, using sunblock and sunscreen actually decreases the chance of having skin cancer 80% of the time, and also malignant melanoma. And usually among us in Asians, this is very rare, but among Caucasians na mahilig po mag-suntan, mag-sunbathe, 95% increase po sila because of their intense exposure in the sun and their prevention to use sunblocks and sunscreen. So you always have to incorporate this in your skincare routine if you want to look young. Okay?
To know more about this business, please contact